Welcome to EFTM, and today we're going to test the call quality of over 10 different headphones and see which sounds best. And I'm going to leave the entire judgment up to you. Now, I did this last year with 13 or 14 headphones. I've just gathered what's lying around the office here. So there's a couple of notable exceptions I could have found probably, or could have reached out and got a couple of extra low-cost ones. I do have a set of LGs and some Audio Technics at home as well, but let's just see how these pan out and then we'll decide if we do any more. So the plan here is quite simple. If you didn't see last year's video, I'll put a link below or whatever it is you do. And what's going to happen is I'm purely going to let you hear how a phone call sounds. So I'm going to put a set of headphones in. They're going to be paired to my smartphone here. I'm going to make a phone call to this smartphone, which is paired to my Rodecaster, and I'm going to record the Bluetooth signal, the other end of the phone call. So it's not recording what the Bluetooth sounds like. We're recording what a phone call sounds like. So we're making a mobile phone call. You'll hear the other end of the call. Now I'll be able to give you the sense of this direct sound of my microphone. I've also got a room microphone here so you can sound. And of course I've got some ambient noise. Now that ambient noise is quite distracting to me. I don't even know if you can hear me now on this mic, let alone on the room mic over there. I don't know. But that's how loud it's going to be when we put the noise out. So the idea there is to see what it sounds like when you walk out into the street. And I've got one other test this year, and that is a bit of wind speed. Now there's a bit of noise there as well, but there's wind, right? So I don't even know whether this mic will pick up the wind, but you know, wind on a phone call isn't a great thing. So we'll see how that sounds. I think what I might do first is establish a kind of control. So let's make just a standard phone call without headphones and see what it sounds like. All right, so this is me making a phone call to myself, but it's being recorded over there on the studio. So this is me talking on the phone as I normally would. Now let's just introduce sound. So this is if I was in a noisy area, you know, street corner, loud sounds around, bit of rain, whatever it is. This is the sound of that same call doing that. And now let's introduce a little bit of wind. Now I often have this when I'm doing radio calls. I will switch ears as well, just in case it helps bring the wind in. But this is wind on the phone call. So those are the kind of three situations. Let's turn that one off now. But then people love a good speakerphone. So this is me talking in a speakerphone arrangement, chatting away on a speakerphone on a standard iPhone here. Let's introduce the noise again. So this is noise with a speakerphone. Don't do this. I mean, how annoying. So that's not very great. And then let's introduce the wind into that equation. So we're chatting on the phone. I can feel the wind is definitely hitting the phone. So I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. How's this one sounding for you? All right. So now we'll turn that off. Now, what we can do here is we can keep the phone call open, but now I'm going to start introducing the headphones, all right? So where do we start? I think we start here. This is the Wave Beam. These are $89 headphones from JBL. Now, if I just put them in, theoretically, they'll automatically take the phone call connected, and well, it says audio is on Bluetooth. So you should be hearing me now. This is me. They've got the right fit. Yep. These are the Wave Beams, $90 headphones from JBL. So this is how a normal phone call sounds. Let's introduce that ambient external noise. So same amount of noise. Just for the record, this is the room noise right now. So you can hear exactly what I'm hearing. That's the sound of these guys. And just do a little wind test here. Let's see what it's like with a little breeze pushing straight into my ear. I don't have hair that's blowing in the wind, but trust me, I can feel it here. All right, so that's the three big tests for these ones. The JBL Wave Beams. All right, so pretty good price, $90. And let's see how they sound. I need to put them away somewhere so I don't accidentally do them twice. Let's step up one with the JBL Tune Beams. Okay, so these are $150. Now, what I've done here is JBL has 9 sets of headphones across 3 different types, your bud, your stalk, and your stalk with a tip. I'm a stalk with tip kind of guy, so that's what I've chosen here in the 3 different price ranges. So the $90 and these are the $150. So those will jump in now on the call. Yep, the call is still being recorded. This is me talking with the JBL Tune Beams, $150 headphones great comfort, really good sound, and excellent. So let's introduce the ambient noise. Once again, this is me talking with a fair bit of room noise, and just to confirm, this is the room noise that you would be hearing if you were standing next to me. This is what it sounds like on the other end of the phone call. Now, that's, great little test. Let's introduce that wind. All right, so solid breeze in one ear. Obviously, it's not coming in the other. I can face it, but let's just keep it simple and have the breeze coming in straight here and see whether that makes any difference to the overall performance of the JBL Tune Beam headphones. We'll stick with JBL and we'll go with their Live Pro 2s. Now, these, to be honest, are my #1 recommendation of headphones because for $199, you get so many features. You get a great battery life, you get great fit and comfort, you get excellent noise cancelling when you're traveling, and they're a good style of headphone too. Look at them. Well, that's not an ugly headphone, is it? Look, it's got that nice shiny edge on it. So the call's coming through now. You're getting me via the phone call here, just chatting away. And I've gone for the stalk because I think if you are making a lot of calls, you probably should go for a stalk style approach as opposed to the bud. That's an option for you depending on what you like, fit and finish. So that's the sound of these headphones. Let's introduce that ambient noise again. Actually, these already straight away are the best ones in terms of doing any blocking, and I don't even know whether I've turned on noise cancelling. They're probably just actively noise cancelling right now. But that's how they sound again. This is the room noise. You want to hear what it's like standing next to me? So this is what it sounds like through the headphones on the other side of an actual phone call with me, and that's what it would sound like if I was calling you from a very busy street. Now, I was just turning on off my notifications so that I didn't get any interruptions. Now let's introduce the wind. Get a bit of wind going in the headphones. So while I'm chatting to you, it's also windy outside. This is a big one for me because I do radio interviews and I'm often standing outside in the wind and they say, "Can you get away from the wind?" Yeah, okay. All right, so those are the JBL Live Pro 2. Awesome headphones, $199. Now we'll step it up a bit with the Galaxy Buds 2. So these are Samsung's Galaxy Buds 2, but they work entirely well with an iPhone as well. We're only testing here Bluetooth, phone call, and their ability to do things with the microphone. So it should be by default how they operate. These are very much the little Buds style. We've already got the phone call active. So yeah, these are definitely light and comfortable, I'd say for sure. This is a standard phone call on the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2. All depends what sort of quality you're after. I don't know because I'm not listening to the other end. Only you are. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking. Let's introduce that noise. So this is a bit of ambient noise. We're on the street. It's raining. You might hear some chatter. Who knows? But this is the sound of me talking with ambient noise. Just for the record again, this is what the room sounds like right now. While we're recording, it's a bit noisy. But the other end of a phone call would only hear this. I found last year with this test the muffled nature of some of the headphones wasn't that great. So let's go back to a reasonably quiet street and introduce the wind instead to see how they handle any wind cancellation that you might get. Now, of course, on a Samsung, these may perform differently because of the app, but I genuinely don't think so because I think this is exactly the same style of connection. All right, so that is the Galaxy Buds 2 from Samsung. Galaxy Buds 2. Let's go Pixel Buds Pro. So these are a $299 headphone from Google. They have just updated the software on them. So again, on a Pixel, the performance may be greater, but I'm not testing these for the absolute ecosystem nerd because you're probably going Samsung to Samsung, Google to Google, Apple to Apple. I'm testing these for someone that's just looking for a set of headphones because you don't get to test these things in a store. So let's get out the Google Pixel Buds Pro. Google Pixel Buds Pro. So we're talking $299 here. So $300 for a set of headphones. Good passive noise cancelling straight off the bat, I can tell you. And you tell me, how does it sound? Let's introduce that street noise. So it's a busy street. It's a rainy day. There's cars driving past. I hope they don't get splashed. And this is what they sound like. That's busy noise. Now let's introduce the wind. So this is, again, me sitting in a slight breeze from a Big W fan. And this is what it would sound like if I can feel this. This is a partly windy day. So this is what it would sound like if I walked and let them hit the breeze. All right, so that's the Google Pixel Buds Pro. All right, let's put those back in the case. Let's get rid of those. Now let's go standard AirPods. Now these are your 3rd generation AirPods. So they are the stalk and tip with no bud on the end like the Pro, but they have the Pro design. Let's get those in.
automatically switches, very different look because I've also got the AirPods symbol on the screen. So that's working now. Yes, you're getting that. So this is the standard Apple AirPods that you kind of can get today. $299 still though, so pricey for a standard set of headphones, but they are high performance. They do have a lot of great features. So this is a standard phone call on a set of AirPods. And, you know, I've heard good things about that. But let's introduce that road noise. All right, so now, let me tell you straight away, I can hear that because there's no passive noise cancelling. There's nothing going on here to prevent me from hearing that sound. And for the record, again, this is what it sounds like in the room, okay? From an open mic, hearing me and the road noise. So that's the sound of the Apple AirPods. Let's introduce some wind into the equation and have a conversation, you know, understanding that the wind comes from all different directions. But, you know, still, we're good to go. And, you know, a lot of people using these headphones. Let's be real. These are probably some of the most popular out there. Again, the judgment is up to you. I'm not even going to listen back to this until I edit this video, all right? So it's entirely your judgment.
Now let's switch over to a different brand. This is the Jabra Elite 8 Active. So these are a great set of headphones, the Elites over the years. So let's see how they sound on a phone call. A lot of people out running and walking with these. So they're in. I heard them pair connected.
All right, so this is a phone call. Let me just make sure they're in right, so we're getting the right test. This is a phone call on the Jabra Elite 8 Active. Now, I can't hear anything, so I can make no judgment here at all. But so this is up to you to see how it sounds. Now let's introduce that ambient noise into the equation. So we're out on a run, and it's a busy, rainy day. There's people, there's cars, all that kind of stuff.
Again, for the record, the ambient noise sound here
that you'd be hearing if you were with me. But this is the sound of a phone call with that ambient noise and then without that ambient noise. Interesting to see how they transition to and from the noisy time. Let's introduce some wind in the equation. So they're pretty, it's actually quite lovely because it's quite warm in here today. But anyway, but the Big W fan working overtime here on full speed with the Jabra Elite 8 Active. So not Active 8, the Elite 8 Active. So just a slightly different
variant on the Elites. But that's what they sound like. Elite 8 Actives. They are, let me look at my list, $329. So we're pumping up the dollar value there, of course. Now let's go back to Samsung. Let's go back to these ones here. This is the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. So Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. So this should introduce, frankly, it should be better than what we heard with those other Samsung Galaxy Buds 2. These are $349, so $100 more
than those previous Galaxy Buds that we heard. So Buds 2 Pro here, standard phone call, great chat, all good times, you know. But of course, it can be very noisy out there in the big wide world. So this is the sound of me in a noisy environment, and hoping that these do a good job. Let me again switch to
the actual sound of the noisy environment
and bring you back to the phone call. I don't know. I think you know, they should perform well. So let's get rid of the ambient noise and let's now introduce the good old wind test. So bit of Big W wind coming at me. I actually really don't mind the look of these. Probably wouldn't go purple. But if I was going to go with something that wasn't a stalk, these are pretty good looking headphones. So very good. All right, that's the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro
at $349. Let's go back to these. Let's go back to Jabra now. These are the brand new Elite 10s. So again, Jabra, and I mentioned this last year when I did this, Jabra were the ones that inspired me to do this segment. They talked about how much effort they put into their noise cancelling and their microphone technology and, you know, phone call quality. So this is a phone call on the Jabra Elite 10s.
You're talking about $379 here. So they've squeezed a couple of headphones in that $300 to $400 range. The Jabra Elite 10s here. Actually don't mind this colour either. A bit of a Queenslander colour there, bit of maroon, but they've got that gloss kind of metallic look on the edge, which is quite nice. So let's introduce that noisy streak. You know, the evolution into that might be interesting, I don't know. And then this is me having a chat, ignoring the fact that it's very noisy here. I can still hear it very well. The JBL Live Pro 2s were the only ones that really, so far, just straight away blocked that out.
This is the sound of the room, in case you've forgotten.
Sound of the room with all that going on. And then back to the phone call. This is the phone call itself. Now, of course, we need to test wind. And, you know, the Elite 10s are not made for running, but there's definitely people that will be out there active with them. But the active features are in the active models. The but this is the wind noise on the Jabra Elite 10s.
All right, I do like them. They're very nice. They're probably my second choice after JBL, I would reckon. All right, so that's the Jabra Elite 10s at $379, which means I'm pretty sure we're now going to tip up into the AirPods Pro at $399. So these are, Apple's Elite.
These are, Apple's core headphones. So, should be all the goods. I'm going to turn off conversation awareness and make sure noise cancellation is on, just because, I want to understand how good the noise cancelling is. So this is the phone call there. You've heard me talking for the last 20 seconds. Turn on that ambient noise and, straight off the bat, I still think it's a JBL win it for noise cancelling thus far, the Live Pro 2. But this is a phone call in a busy environment with the Apple AirPods. And then, of course, so many people wearing these things, we have to test them in the wind. So let's take a windy Big W day and see how they sound out in a breezy day. This is such the most common look you see on the streets, isn't it? It's just unbelievable how well Apple has done at marketing themselves as the headphone brand. Their market share is beyond anyone else's comprehension, and it's up to these guys to all find a way to be better than them.
So I'm wondering whether you're noticing whether any of these are better than them. Now we're going to go a bit pricey now. These are from Denon. Now these are the Denon PerL Pros. Ladies and gentlemen, $549. Beautiful. These remind me of the Will I headphones that came out years ago. Big 20-cent pieces in your ears, but anyway.
Yeah, that's what they look like. You can see them there. I don't know. This is not that bad a look. But anyway, that's the sound of a phone call. I struggle to use them because I can feel the rest of them around there. But anyway, standard phone call, and then let's introduce that ambient sound. Again, this is what the room sounds like, folks. Very noisy in here, but the phone call itself should be very specific, and hopefully you can hear me quite well. So let's now introduce the wind into that equation, and just enjoy a cool breeze for a moment. These big satellite dishes in my ears should really pick that up. It's not a bad look, and I will tell you straight away, I haven't fully tested them yet, but man, the music quality is deep and rich. And I actually don't think these headphones are designed for someone who's out and about walking. I think these are for someone who just wants to sit and enjoy their music. Anyway, that's the Denon
PerL Pros.
Now, for something completely different, I've decided to put these on. Now, these are not part of the overall test, but given they're $1,000 and they were sitting in the office, I'm not going to suddenly start testing over-ear headphones for call quality. That's a different video. That's a different test. And also, I don't think you should be walking around with over-ear headphones making calls. That's just me. But these are the Dyson Zone. They are $1,000. They have lots of microphones in them. They should be very, very good. So this is a phone call on them, right? I want to just check there. Yeah, we're definitely on the Dyson Zone. Let's introduce that noise. Okay, so this is a lot of noise going around. Okay, so that's the sound of it. A lot of noise going on again. So the room.
This is the sound of the room. Okay, it's very noisy in here. This is the sound of the room.
Because that's the way it is. And then let's introduce some noise. They'd be noisy on their own because if I put the mask on, it'll turn into an air purifier. But let me just expose that fan to a few of the microphones. See what happens. I don't know. See what happens. All right, there we go.
The Dyson Zone headphones as well. Now there's one other thing I want to include in that, and this is this. I've had this forever. It's a Plantronics. You know what? I'll look at my Bluetooth just to confirm what model it is. I have had it for so long, and it is my go-to. I have several. It's a V5200, right? Now I'll put it in this ear so that we get the noise cancelling issue sorted and the wind. This is my go-to in the car. Now, why, you ask? Because I don't want to walk the streets looking like this, okay? I just won't do it. I remember saying that to the people at Plantronics over many years. But I swear my life on this. This is the phone I use to do radio interviews. Now, of course, the microphone's coming down further. It should be a better quality just there. But how good is it at noise cancelling and cancelling out that that ambient noise? So when I'm driving along, for example. So this is not my normal ear for this, so it feels very weird. It would normally be on the other side. Anyway, leaving that aside, let's introduce some noise into the equation. And
And, you know, what you should be hearing is a bit of everything. I don't know. I actually really can't speak to how good this is going to sound because it just doesn't feel comfortable in my ear right now. It should be in this ear. But the reason I've put it in this ear, let's turn that off, is this. Let's hear how it handles a bit of noise as well. A bit of wind. Bit of wind in the air. So wind in the air there. You can see it popping out. I don't know, maybe my other ears are different size. All right, wind in the air there. Very good. That's the sound of the wind on the Plantronics V5200 series. I include that because for me it's a benchmark. So I'm going to go back and listen to this and go, oh my God, why am I bothering with that thing? So be it. We turn it off. We put it back in its cool little charging case, which keeps it charged and happy to go. So what do you think? Which ones sounded the best? You know, from my point of view, it's impossible to say because I wasn't on the other end of the call. All I noticed was, to be honest, the JBLs did a really good job, the Live Pro 2s, of blocking out that sound that I was hearing in here. But let's go and have a listen, and you let me know in the comments which ones were best for you. And not just which ones sounded best, which ones coped with the change between noisy and quiet environments, which ones did or didn't notice the wind, and most importantly, which ones are the value, because it's all well and good if the most expensive ones were the best, but is that really where we're all going to go? Because not everyone's spending that much money. The under $150 market is huge. So maybe I will do a second video soon with just under $200 headphones and see what we can gather there. All right, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think these kind of products, all reviewed at EFTM.com. Back soon.